Hi, Dethra. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this virtual summit. Realign your thoughts for women who want to exude confidence in every area of their life. It's a pleasure to have you here. So tell us, introduce yourself to us. So let us know who you are, what you do, and why you decided to be a part of this summit.
Absolutely. So I am Dethra Giles. I am the CEO of ExecuPrep, and at ExecuPrep, what we say we do is help our clients build and cross their bridge from I want to be to I am. And I'm very passionate about seeing women do just that, get from where they are to where they want to be. And if I can be the catalyst to get them there, then me and my team are here for it. So when you said you were doing the summit, gotta be there.
Yes. Well, let's get right into it. Why don't you tell us what is your definition of confidence?
So for me, confidence is it's all encompassing. Confident, we often think that confidence means that I never have any doubt or I'm the greatest. Confidence is that thing that says, even though you may think differently than who you know who you are. Like there are times when I'm in a room and I'm a speaker. I just actually came back from a conference where there were 17,000 attendees and I was a speaker. And I would hear another speaker get on stage before me and they would kill it. And I had that little twinge in my mind that was like, are you as good as they are? But my confidence said, girl, you are amazing. They can kill it. You can kill it. Somebody else can kill it. Just because it's been killed doesn't mean it can't be killed again. We can all kill it. And that's what confidence is. It's even when you have that little twinge of doubt, you have that reminder in your head of who you are and how great you can actually be. And you're not shaken by someone else's greatness.
Yeah. So it's like your own little personal boost.
Absolutely, your own cheering squad. You know how we all watch the movies and the good guy has that band going behind him with their music. Like that's your own little hype group, your own little hype woman in your head. That's confidence.
Yeah, yeah. So then, would you consider yourself a person who has confidence?
Oh yeah. Now I absolutely have confidence. Some people would say it's a little bit cocky, but I don't. I think the reason many of us aren't confident is because we have been historically told that that piece that makes us confident makes us also cocky and egotistical. Confidence is not being cocky. Confidence is a being secure in the reality of what you are good at. For example, I tell everyone in the world, I am the best in the world at what I do. What I don't do, I'm the most incompetent. And so, me saying I am an amazing speaker, I'm a great speaker, I'm one of the best speakers in the world, does not make me cocky. It makes me secure in the gift and the talents that I have. But now, if you come to me and say, Deetra, how are you in accounting? If I come to you and say, girl, I'm amazing, now I'm being cocky and egotistical because that's a lie, right? So it's being secure in the greatness that you actually have, but it's a process of getting there. It's a process of stepping out of everything we've been told. Don't be boisterous. Don't be that girl. Don't be the one out there tooting your own horn. Well, if I don't toot it, it's gonna be silent. It's gonna go untooted.
Right, right. Yeah. So be confident, be secure in your knowledge and your capabilities. If you're not, who will?
Exactly. I mean, think about it. Who's going to speak better of you than the person that knows you best? No one can speak because everybody sees results. You see work, right? Everybody sees you being an amazing accountant. Everybody sees you being a great podcaster. Everybody sees you being a great event organizer, right? They see the result. But the thing that makes you powerful is that you've seen the work. And if you can't speak to the work that was done to get there, who's going to do it?
Right, right. Now, what about when it comes to business confidence? How would you define that? What business confidence is?
Business confidence is the same thing, but it comes from a different perspective. So when I think of business confidence, I have confidence in what I know in business. But business confidence for me comes with having the right team around me, right? I know that I know my aspect of business, but no one knows business. So I am great at, let's say, sales and marketing, but I may not be great on accounting or operations. And so it's the team that I've compiled that makes me confident in business. And it doesn't matter how small or big your business is, even if you are what I call an employeepreneur, because let's be clear, your career is a business. You are a multi-billion-dollar organization and your career is your product. So you are a business if you're an employeepreneur. But the confidence in business comes from assembling a team of solid business people to take the journey with.
Yeah, the right team. So in order to have that business confidence, you have to be confident enough to need a team and to pick the right team.
Yes. And here's where confidence is. This is where that building confidence and building the right team has a counterintuitive measure. Because the more confident you are, the more apt you are to admit your inadequacies and feel them. Because I am confident in what I do, I'm okay to say I'm the best in the world at what I do, but what I don't do, I'm the most incompetent. And that's where I'm going to go feel that inadequacy. People who really lack confidence, they can't admit when they aren't good at something, or when they don't know something, or when something is not their strength. People who are really confident will come to you with, girl, I don't know that. Let me go find someone sent me something today and said, hey, you do training on DEI. We're having the LGBTQIA plus issue. Can you come and help us out with that? Oh, that is not my area of expertise. I am a DEI expert. I know this stuff. I can talk to you about it. I can teach you about it. But if you're having this specific issue, I have another person on my team, that business confidence, that can help you in that area. It's not me. I'm not going to be the best at doing that, right? And so that's where that confidence has to come in. When you're confident, you can admit your inadequacies and fill the gaps.
Yeah. And so, what role does confidence play in your specific field of expertise?
Oh my gosh. Everything. One, so when we talk about running a business, so ExecuPrep is a performance optimization firm. And what we really do is we go in and look at organizations, we go into companies and say, how can you perform better? How can you take your people and have them perform and be more productive and make you more money? And oftentimes we focus on the DEI aspect of it, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so quite often, I'm in front of people who do not want to hear what I have to say. No one wants to hear someone come in and say, hey, your processes are discriminatory. And because they are, you're losing money. Or you have people in your organization who are holding you back, especially when those people are your beloved employees, or your processes are deficient, especially when you created those processes. And so oftentimes I have to stand boldly in what I know and the work I've put in to know what I know. And if I go in there with any lack of confidence, it's struggling or trying to, hem and haw because I'm not confident in what I'm saying, not confident in what I know, not confident in my ability to get them from where they are to where they want to be, I would lose every client.
Yeah. And so, like you said, it just goes back to being secure in your knowledge and your capabilities.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, Now, what has really helped you to exude the confidence that you so clearly have?
It has been a process. I would say the thing that's helped me the most is therapy, of course, a good amount of prayer, and trial and error. When I stopped and accepted the fact that failure is the price we pay for the success that we want to have, was when I was able to step into confidence, because that pretend confidence says you have to get it right every time. Real confidence says, I don't care how good I am. Sometimes I'm not going to hit the mark. I could be the best in the world. I could be the best marks person in the world and still not hit the target when I make that shot. I could be the fastest woman in the world and still not win that race. I could be the smartest mathematician in the world and still get a math problem wrong, right? And so when I was able to accept that part of being great at what I was accepting that sometimes I wouldn't look like I was great, that was when I was able to step into my real confidence.
I love that. Pretend confidence, because that's just what it is. You really, it's fleeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna last for that moment, but it's not gonna sustain you.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all. And so many people walk around with it. You see people walking. See, the way pretend confidence shows up is when I have to downplay you for me to be great. I
Mhm.
have to, like I was talking about the situation of the speakers. That speaker killed it. Pretend confidence would be like, oh, that ain't good as me, because this is what he did wrong. Did you see her shoes? And girl, she messed up that word. That's pretend confidence. Real confidence was like, oh my gosh, they killed it. Let me up my game. Or I might not be as good as them, but I'm gonna kill it in my own lane, right? Pretend confidence says only one of us can shine. Real confidence says it's enough shine for all of us.
Yes. Tell it. Now, what about an experience? So you mentioned in the speaker event, is there another experience that you would be open to sharing where maybe you didn't feel as confident, but you were able to be resilient and pull through that situation?
I would say when I first started my career, especially not my career in general, but my career as a leader, I was in a situation where I was surrounded by older white men. I was young. I had my first title of director when I was only 27 years old. So I'm in this room full of older white men. And like everybody else, when I was in school, they taught me the professional attire is a blue, gray, black, or if you're feeling frisky, a khaki suit. If you follow me on Instagram or anywhere, and I encourage that you do, it's Dethra.Giles, Dethra.Giles on Instagram, Dethra Giles everywhere else. You can look at my images and see I am not a black, a gray, a navy blue, or khaki kind of girl. I am loud with my colors and patterns. And so I wasn't confident to show up like that, because if I show up like that, will they take me seriously? Will they perceive that I know what I'm talking about? Will they include me in the good old boys club? And I realized I ain't a good old boy. And it doesn't matter if I come in here in a gray suit or a yellow suit, they're not going to accept me anyway. So the next meeting, I decided I was coming in a bright yellow suit. And I walked in that meeting looking like a ray of sunshine. Before I walked in that meeting, the first thing that hit my head was, Dethra, you've made a mistake. Why in the world would you do this? They already don't accept you, and you're not going to give them a reason to not accept you. But I was already dressed and I wasn't going home. So when I walked in the room, I decided, you know what? If they already don't accept me, why should I suffer on the both sides? They're not going to accept me, and I got to dress a certain way and still not be accepted. I'm one of these sides I'm going to have fun on. So I decided I would have fun with my attire. And guess what? It worked in my favor. And so then I learned, you know what? You cannot be confident if you can't be you. You cannot, if you are not comfortable with your authentic self, you cannot be confident.
Yeah, and that was what I was going to say was my takeaway. Your authentic self, whether they're going to love you or hate you, either way. So just be you. Just do
Listen,
you.
I tell people all the time, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So you might as well pick the damn that you can live with.
And that's the yeah. Now what about when you do start to have some doubts, some self-criticism? How do you realign your thoughts and readjust your thinking?
You know what? I keep, oh, I keep it in my head that I have to remind myself. I actually have a daily activity that I go through to remind myself that I'm great. It happens in the morning, it happens at lunchtime, and it happens before I go to bed. And it's a 3 time a day routine for me to remind myself of how amazing I am and what I'm amazing at. Right. And so I keep it in my head, because there's always this little voice in your head that's going to remind you that you an imposter. You don't really know that. You ain't that great. And what I tell people, that voice in your head is not just a voice, it is the devil. And I can't speak for all other people, but I am unapologetically a Christian. And when we say it's the devil, when we say the devil is a liar, like the old grandma said, the devil's a liar. That's why people get so offended when you call them a liar, because a liar can't tell the truth. When someone's lying, that's momentary. But when you say you're a liar, I get mad. I'm ready to fight because I can't tell the truth. The devil is a liar in that he cannot tell the truth. So when I hear that voice in my head, I'm like my grandma, the devil is a liar. You are incapable of telling me the truth. So when you tell me I'm an imposter, I automatically know that's not true. I am qualified to do this job. Oh, girl, it's 17,000 people out there looking at you. You're going to get out there and mess up. That's a liar. I'm going to kill it. Oh, what makes you think you're qualified to go start a business? You're unqualified to start a business. That's a lie. I surely am, because I've seen incompetent people start billion-dollar businesses all the time. And I am more competent than 90% of the people I see start businesses and get money.
Yeah, I love that. Really. So yeah, those negative thoughts, really frame it in a way where it really, I'm sorry, excuse me, where it really does help you to look at it differently in a way that you don't want no part of that. And if
Yeah.
you can see it that way, it makes it easier for you to realign your thoughts.
Now, what I tell people too is keep record. When those thoughts pop up, if you don't already have a routine of compressing those thoughts, you don't really have the the tools to make it go away. And so until you get your own routine, remind yourself of what you have done. Oh my gosh, you're an imposter, you shouldn't apply for that job. You know what? Maybe you're right, but let me go down my resume. Oh, I've done that. I've done that. I've done that. I've done that. I saw the last person who was in the job, and don't go back to the last person who was in the job, what they looked like when they left. Go to what they looked like when they started. Right? Oh, when this person got the job, yeah, they've been in a job 20 years. I don't have 20 years experience doing that job, but I went back to them 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, when they first got this job, they weren't even as qualified as I am right now. Right? And so when those voices come up, if you don't already have a routine of silencing that voice or talking over that voice, just have a routine of when it pops up, go through your own resume. Go through your mental Rolodex of what you've done that qualifies you or does something counter to what that voice is telling you.
Yeah. So a good thing is keep a list of your wins. Keep a list of your wins and yeah, reflect back on that.
Absolutely.
Now, what 3 things would you maybe have somebody start off with? If somebody is lacking, let's just say business confidence, what are 3 things you think that maybe they could start focusing on?
One, ask yourself, what are my gaps? Because sometimes when we lack confidence, we simply lack education. My lack of there are areas I'm confident as a person, but I am not confident as an accountant. And it's simply because I don't have the level of education I need to run accounting for my company, let's say. So if I decided, you know what, Dethra, we're gonna fire the CFO and you are gonna run accounting for ExecuPrep. That is never gonna happen. But let's say it was. What I would have to do is say, okay, what amount of education do you need to bring up your confidence? So sometimes it's not just you doubting yourself, it's literally a lack of education in the area. So one, find out that there's a lack of education and fill that gap. 2, get experience doing the thing you lack confidence in. Sometimes we have the education, we just don't have experience doing it. For example, I coach a lot of speakers that speak around the world on major stages. And when they start saying, Dethra, I want you to coach me on speaking, my first thing is I'm going to coach you on how to be a speaker. I'm going to help you get that signature speech, but I'm going to push you to try this out on as many stages as possible. So one part of it is getting educated, but the other part is getting comfortable doing that thing over and over and over. And then 3, you need to step out and start to speak to yourself. The last part and the most important part of confidence is what you say to you. Outside of you, there will be so many voices that will doubt you. The only voice that matters is yours. And when you doubt you, everybody else's voice pales in comparison. But when you believe in you, it doesn't matter what anybody else say. Because at some point, you can't survive off of mama believing in you because mama can't go out there and work. You can't survive off of your friends. It has to be your voice. So 1, fill in the gaps of education. 2, get out there and just do it more and more and more until you feel better about doing it. And 3, speak kindly and positively and amazingly to and about you to you.
Yeah, thank you for that. And in terms of the experience too, get out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of us are so scared. I know myself, you know, it was so hard for me to just step out and do things that I'm not comfortable with. But like you said, that is the only way that you're gonna become good at it. It's okay to fail, like you mentioned earlier. You're not gonna look great when you first doing it, but it's okay. You need that experience.
And here's the deal, I tell people, nothing that you actually want lives inside your comfort zone. Nothing. Nothing that you are striving for, nothing that you are working for, nothing that you went to school for, nothing that are the greater things in life that you know you want and deserve live inside your comfort zone. So if you're not willing to get comfortable staying right where you are, making what you're making, doing what you're doing, having what you have right
And that's the truth. It is the honest truth. Any final words? That was some truth. But any final words that you want to share with these wonderful women?
now. Yes. So here's the thing. Some of the most confident people that you see have failed miserably. And oftentimes we don't tell the stories. We don't, you get to see our edited version of the movie. Anyone that knows about the movie industry, you know that they a 1 hour movie probably has close to 1,000 hours of footage. I mean, like my stepfather used to be, he worked on several movies like Forrest Gump and stuff. And I remember when they were shooting the movie, I would be at some of the shoots and then I would look and see like, well, what happened to that scene? And it will be whole scenes they shot that weren't just not edited. They didn't even make the movie. I mean, they spent a whole day shooting footage that didn't even make the movie. And so when you look at these successful people and you're measuring yourself against them and it's decreasing your confidence, what you're looking is at the edited version of the movie. You don't see the hours that didn't even make the cutting room floor. You don't even see the what went into making that look like that. So stop measuring yourself against the edited version of someone else's movie, realizing that they had miserable failures. I'll even tell you mine. Right now I have ExecuPrep. Started ExecuPrep in 2007. Started with just me, a hope and a dream. And now today we have clients like Louis Vuitton and Moet Hennessy or Kaiser Permanente or Environmental Protection Agency. But that's over a 2007, y'all. It's 2022, right? Or you see me, someone says, oh my gosh, I saw you going shopping. Listen, there were times when I started this company that we had to collect gift cards just to make sure we would be able to put gas in the car because we weren't sure if the credit card would be declined when we swiped it. So when you're measuring yourself up against other people, understand that what you see is built on top of failures that did not stop them. So if you're going to truly build confidence, you have to understand that failure is the price we pay to be successful. And know that your failures should not shake what you know about you and what you say to you. And that's how you're going to build your confidence. And that's how you're going to build your success. And that's how you're going to get the pay that you want and the promotion that you deserve.
Honesty, truth, and power. Thank you, ma'am. Much appreciated. Yes, I'm always in gratitude when people give of themselves and their time. It has truly been a pleasure talking to you. I'm very thankful that you spent this time with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been my pleasure.